Bonjour, mes amis. How is everybody this morning? I'm sorry that I woke up late, very late today. You know how you wake up and you're not sure how you feel, whether emotionally, mentally, physically, psychologically. You're just like, I'm not really sure how I feel today. That's sort of me. So I got out of bed quite late, and I'm now having my coffee. I've got my pile of books, my coffee's going, and I powered up. I'm like, okay, what's going on with Meghan and Harry? And so today I wanted to talk about William and that secret deal that he apparently inked with Rupert Murdoch. But before I do that, I did want to just briefly touch on Beatrice and Eugenie again, because I've always said that I'm a little bit psychic and I have a little bit of ESP, because it's just the other day before before I began to suspect Eugenie and Beatrice of being less trustworthy than I had thought. I cleared them just maybe 2 days ago. When did I do this particular video? I said it's not them. They are not the arsonists in the palace. 2 days ago. It's 2 days ago. And then I wake up like literally the next day, and I hear that they had lunch with Piers Morgan, who has been not just um, a terrible human being towards Meghan, but in terms of his journalistic integrity, and in terms of, someone who said he was a former friend, in terms of just a man, how a gentleman treats a woman, or any woman. I mean, there's so many levels to his abuse of this human being named Meghan, that it was stunning to me to learn that Beatrice and Eugenie had had lunch with him, and one of them was photographed hugging this man after the lunch in broad daylight. So it's like she wanted to be seen. And I was, I'm floored by it. Finish, focus on the coronation. But no, they need a distraction, as I said. They need to distract from something else. Someone in the palace or a group of people are afraid that everything is not going to go well with the coronation, and they need a distraction to put all of the negative energy in that place so that they can have a better result with the coronation. And they've made Meghan the heavy. Meghan is the heavy. No matter whether she goes to the coronation or she doesn't go, they're going to focus attention on her and make sure that attention stays on her until the coronation is finished. So this story in the Telegraph is not the only one. There are going to be others between now and May 6th. It's an orchestrated, coordinated hit. It's a hit. It's a series of articles that is one big fat hit against Meghan. Now, and in this particular video, I had gone back to talk about who was it that had said whatever they said about Meghan's child, Meghan then unborn son, Archie, and his skin color. And I was very careful to eliminate Beatrice and Eugenie as being possible suspects. Listen. A child's skin would be. It turns out that it's true, because now it seems from the palace yesterday, an exclusive in the Telegraph, there was a letter back then that corroborates, right? This is evidence, right? That corroborates what Meghan said, because all of these years subsequent to this event and subsequent to the Oprah interview, the entire world has been led to believe that Meghan is a big fat liar. None of this happened. And now you have this letter conveniently corroborating this. There are many different ways you can look at that. And one way is that the person who released this letter from the palace did it to throw somebody else under the bus. So they're setting Meghan on fire, But they're also throwing someone in the royal family under the bus. And that person is whoever said this objectionable thing about Meghan and Harry's then unborn son, Prince Archie of Sussex. So it's a twofold hit. You set Meghan on fire, so you get your distraction. Well, it's a three-part hit. You set her on fire, you distract from the coronation, and you throw somebody else in the palace under the bus. Now, why do I say that? Because clearly, whoever said this about Meghan's child, Meghan and Harry's child, has not yet been revealed to the public. Now, we know that it's a senior royal, and we know it's somebody that both Meghan and Harry wanted to protect because they didn't want this person to be destroyed and outed as a racist. And we know that it's not Queen Elizabeth because they said so, and it's not, her husband, the now deceased Duke of Edinburgh, right? We know it's not Beatrice and Eugenie because they are not senior royals, and it would be ridiculous if either one of them had asked such a question of Harry. What if your son comes out, quote unquote, black with black skin? And then I saw this, which is Beatrice hugging Piers Morgan and not even trying to hide it. I mean, and so there I went from them not being arsonists to wondering whether they are key arsonists. I mean, I don't know. It's a question. This is not a statement of fact, but it is wondering now whether, because they would have inside information from Meghan. One of them goes to Meghan's house in California from time to time. It's probably the same one who lives in Meghan's house, so she easily could invite Piers Morgan over to the house for lunch, and probably has, so he knows every nook and cranny of Frogmore Cottage because of her. Because if she's going to hug Piers like this in public, I mean, what are they doing in private, right? And so she goes to Montecito, and she gets whatever little bit she gets. She knows who said whatever was said about Meghan's child because she's a family member. So could she have been the one to have released this letter to the Telegraph, right? And with the hope that, yes, it throws Meghan into the fire even more, like I said, but it also throws William under the bus because her father is having trouble, allegedly, with King Charles over his royal lodge estate. There's a lot of mix up with the real estate in the family. Is it that Andrew and his family are now in war mode with the entire royal family, and they're now willing to just blow the whole thing up and throw everybody under the bus, everybody into the fire to save Andrew? Fergie came out recently talking out of both sides of her mouth. On the one hand, it seems like she sometimes says things that are sort of nice towards um, Meghan and Harry, but I've always noted she never says Meghan. She says she, which was always a red flag to me. She doesn't call Meghan by name. She calls Meghan she. She is the cat's mother. I've always known that. So, Meghan has a name. But so Fergie has always been talking out of both sides of her mouth. She recently made some kind of statement about you're either in or you're out in the royal family, right? And then she said something about it's time to let Andrew off the hook and get back to his life. Then you have this photo with Eugenie and Piers Morgan, of all people. I mean, who are they again? This is Andrew, Andrew is Fergie, Duchess of York. So Duke of York. Are the Yorks the arsonists? Are the Yorks the arsonists in the royal family? Because they just threw William under the bus. And it would seem to be that it's possible that there's no loyalty or love lost there. It's like everybody for themselves here. And this really creeps me out. It's like makes me feel sick, actually, on many different levels. I mean, one level is what happens when he turns on her, because he has proven that he can turn on his friends. What is he going to say? It makes me feel nauseous already. But okay, maybe I shouldn't look at this photo anymore. Um, Look, this video was supposed to be about William and the secret deal that he brokered with Rupert Murdoch, but it's turning out to be something about the Yorkses and whether they are the arsonists in in the royal family. It so left me confused. I started to play Christmas music yesterday. I was like, I can't, like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm shocked. I mean, it's like Beatrice and Eugenie, it turns out, are villains, because I mean, for no reason at all is such a lunch date with such a person justified, for no reason at all. And hugging such a person, of a family member he's been dragging for 5 years unstoppingly, and the things he has been saying, it's not just the length of time, it's the things he has been saying about Meghan and Harry, right? And Harry, he's even been named in a lawsuit by Harry. So he's an enemy of the state, right? And you're a family member and you're having lunch with him for 2 hours and hugging him in front of cameras, knowing they're cameras, right? Weird. It's not just weird. It's like a very, very strong, open, and notorious statement about which side they are on. And I'm shocked. But I'm not, because I didn't say anything. Because when whoever it was, Beatrice, Eugenie, it's all one big blob at this point, used to go over to Montecito, my mind, something in my mind was trying to come out to say, don't trust this person. But I never said it. I never said it. And why did I feel that way? Because of their silence. They're otherwise silent. They've never once, even by mistake, said anything in support of Meghan publicly, or shown any public support for Meghan and Harry, not even by mistake. But then you learn in the press that whoever it was, Beatrice or Eugenie, I mean, it's one big blob of pancake, went to Montecito to see Meghan. Weird, right? Weird. No public support, but secretly going to Montecito. These are people looking for information, Meghan. Meghan, these are enemies. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. These are your enemies.